everyone. How are you today? Today is Friday morning. I don't know the date. It's like the 14th or something. So we're just about halfway through November already. I cannot believe it. My name is Lynette, and this is my channel, Grammy Crochet. I also do not only crochet videos, but I do some travel videos because my husband and I live in a camper. And we are traveling, we're on an adventure for probably at least a year. We started, well, more than a year, because we actually took off and sold our house in February of 2025. And we have been living in 2 different campers over the past several months. And we are currently in South Carolina. We've been here since the beginning of the month, and I have not done a travel video yet on what we have seen and done in South Carolina. At one point when we decided that we would take this journey, physical journey, one of the things that we were thinking is, we're from northern Ohio, it's cold and yucky in the winter, and we want to purchase a home probably somewhere in, excuse me, sorry about that. Anyway, we have always loved South Carolina, Myrtle Beach area, and that was kind of one of our destinations. Florida. Then we did some traveling, and we went to Mississippi, and I just love Old Bay, St. Louis. And I thought, oh goodness, I might want to live here. But there's a lot of places in the country that we haven't been, and, you know, it might not be somewhere coastal, but we're thinking it's definitely going to be someplace warm. But when we were traveling last year, we kept running into no place warm. It was unseasonably cold winter last winter. And we had freezing temperatures in Arkansas. We had freezing temperatures in Mississippi. We're like, wait, these are supposed to be warm places. We had near freezing temperatures in Florida, I think, one night. But, you know, you get cold no matter what. But, oh, excuse me. We're thinking, you know, we want to stay warm weather. But after we were gone from Ohio for several months, well, not several, a couple months, we went back in April, and I missed my family so much. I thought, there's no way I can live continuously away. So we probably, most likely, will settle back in Ohio when we are done with our travels. But we're planning on traveling until we get to and from Alaska next summer. And then we'll probably want to settle down and buy a house again. Not that we won't travel anymore, but Roy definitely wants to buy another house sooner rather than later after our Alaska trip, which we've been planning to visit Alaska for an anniversary ever since our 10th anniversary. We will be married 39 years in February, so we waited a long time for this trip. That being said, we are, as I said, in South Carolina. If you like the travel videos, you might like this one. We haven't done a whole lot of stuff since we've been here, because we've done a lot of the stuff already that, you know, the touristy stuff that South Carolina offers. We've done that over the years because we've come here for vacation many times. We've not ever camped here before, and we've never stayed as long as we are right now. We wanted to get a feel of what is it like to stay here, you know, to be here. This is your daily life. Except that life in the camper isn't like life in your house. Because you just don't have as much space. You don't have your own yard you have to take care of. You don't. So there's not stuff to fiddle with and fuss with so much. So it's a different lifestyle. And not that we're not enjoying ourselves, because we definitely are, so don't think that. But it's not like, oh, you know, we have to fix this or do that, or, you know, mow the grass, plant flowers, have a garden, where he can't set up bird feeders, which he really enjoys. I can't, we can't be in separate rooms because there's one room and the bedroom. But you sit on the bed if you're in the bedroom, and that can be awkward. I feel like if he wanted to watch a Cavs game and I wanted to make a video out, in the bedroom, that would be kind of difficult. We only have one TV in here. So, it's a different lifestyle, but we are enjoying it. So back to what did we do since we've been here. As I said, we haven't done a whole bunch of things, but we have a lot of things coming up. Originally, I was just going to do one video for the whole month, but I think it'll be too long. So let's get on with it. The first thing we did, and the first pictures that you'll see, are we went on a sunset ghost cruise at Murrells Inlet. I love Murrells Inlet. They have a beautiful boardwalk there. You'll see some of the pictures, but this was at night. I keep saying we're going to go back during the day, and we haven't done it yet. We've been just kind of lazy, honestly. It's been a little chillier than what I want to hang out on the water's edge, because we have had freezing temperatures here the last week. Well, near freezing, and colder during the day. So the breeze is cold, and when you're at Murrells Inlet, you're on the boardwalk, you are on the water. Okay, sorry, got interrupted. So anyway, we're Murrells Inlet. Murrells Inlet is it's a whole boardwalk. It's long. There's lots of bars, restaurant. You can eat on the water. You can eat inside. A lot of times they have music at some of them. There is, and you'll see a picture of Wicked Tuna. If you've not known the show, there is a show called Wicked Tuna. You're fine. And I think that show is associated with the show and the restaurant are associated. I've never been in the building because I really don't eat seafood. But that is there. You'll see some pictures of the boardwalk and the marina, but it's evening and then into the night, and so you'll see some sunset pictures. And you'll see a picture of a spaceship house. It's a very unique build on that house. And I'm telling you this because there's a picture of it, and apparently it was built like a spaceship, not to be a spaceship house and like Little Green Aliens or anything, but because that design is supposed to be like hurricane resistant, and it has survived many hurricanes with no damage, whereas the houses all around received damage. So it's serving its purpose, and yes, it does look like a spaceship. So it would be really interesting to see the inside. I would love to see how you design the interior of a house built like a spaceship. And it does have like porthole looking windows. So take a second to look at that. Then we went to Myrtle Beach State Park. I have a couple of pictures of there. You'll see the entrance. There was a trail we walked. And then we were on the pier. There was a campground there that we wanted to tour, but you had to have tickets to get in. Be purchasing or renting, to get in. So we didn't go there. We have been to the L.W. Paul Living History Farm. I'm going to talk over the pictures that I have there, because that was very interesting. There were people to talk to, and we're going back tomorrow morning. They run this farm like it was, well, I'll tell you that when I'm talking over the pictures. From there we went to the city of Conway, which there's just a couple of pictures of like the main streets. But it's a quaint little town, really cute. They have a boardwalk, and we were headed there, and a marina, river walk, that's what they call it. And I don't know, we never made it there. We were going there. I think we decided we were hungry and we went to eat. But we did walk a couple of the streets, and so there's a couple of pictures of Conway. And then there's Papa's General Store is in there. And so we took a picture of the store, and we went inside and took a picture inside, because that's what my grandkids call Roy, is Papa. So I'm like, look, there's your store. We went to, when we bought tickets to go see a hypnotist comedy act. Of course, you couldn't take pictures in there, so there's no pictures of that. But we went there, and it was really a funny show. Steven somebody, I can't remember his name. It was good. There's no way in all of God's creations you would ever get me on stage in a hypnotist show. I'll tell you that right now. Unless it was a little kid's show, then maybe, but I still doubt it. You're just asking to make a fool of yourself. And I'm not going to do that. I do that enough unintentionally. But it was a very good show. So if you are in the area, it was a good show. I think he has adult rated and then not adult rated. Of course, we went to the adult rated show. But it was good. It was funny. It did make me a little uncomfortable at times, but it was still funny. But because we bought tickets there, we also got tickets to the Dino Museum, which is at Broadway on the Beach, which is where the Steve Hypnotist show was. And Broadway on the Beach is a big shopping mall, outdoor mall. And they have lots of, not only activity, like they have the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum is in there. They have an aquarium in there. I think that's also Ripley's. Tomorrow night, I think they're having the tree lighting, and I think we're going to go there for that. But this Dino Museum is also there. Thank God we got the tickets for free. It is designed more for little kids, but the dinosaurs are animatronic. I think I'm saying that right. So they're like robotic. You'll see. I took video. I think it took us 5 minutes to go through the whole thing, and I took video of the moving. You'll see it. And so that's the places that we've been to. Now tomorrow, we're going in the morning back to the farm, and during that video part, I will tell you about that. And tomorrow night. Tonight we're going somewhere. We're going to go see some acrobats. We have a show for that. I don't know if I can take video or pictures there. And then tomorrow morning we're going to back to the farm. Tomorrow evening I think we're going to go to the show, to the lighting of the weather's getting nicer and nicer again. And so I think we'll spend some time watching them light the tree. They have music and entertainment and, shopping, lots of shopping. So that's where we're at as far as what's in this video. Because where there's pictures, I won't mostly just let the music play. We did go to, so I'm going to start a series included in here of places that we've eaten that are like worth talking about. We went to the River Cafe. Real cute little place. It was the first place that we ate that I thought I might try to do some review of. I took pictures of the food. Roy had a smash burger. I had a cheeseburger. I upgraded to a platter where I could get onion rings. The platter would give you French fries and coleslaw. Then you could, for 50 cents, get loaded fries. Where I got chili cheese loaded fries. Very good, hand cut. I upgraded for 50 more cents. So it was like $5.50. And to get onion rings, and they were huge, but I got two. I was like, 2 onion rings? and coleslaw, which I really don't eat, but it wasn't bad. I tasted it, or I liked it very much. The onion rings were huge. You'll see them in a picture, but I have 2 pictures of that. You know, I have 1 picture of our food, I think, from Riverside Cafe. The food was good. It wasn't outlandishly priced. I think we paid like $30 for lunch, which is, you know, you can go to McDonald's and pay $30 for lunch. It was way better than McDonald's. And then we went last night. We went to Crazy Mason Milkshake Bar. Now that's a place to go to. I have several pictures of the inside of it. It was not only adorable, but it's decorated for Christmas now, so it's more adorable. And the milkshakes, the idea is that you get the milkshake in a mason jar, and you get to take the milkshake home in your mason jar. It was $17.75 if you bought the mason jar, $14.75 if you did not take over the souvenir mason jar. We just took it home in a plastic cup. But you get the milkshake and food on top. So Roy got a banana split, and the banana sits on top of the milkshake, and then there's stuff on top of the banana. So they serve it with a plate. I'm like, how do you eat that? I had a mint chocolate chip brownie chocolate mousse. I couldn't eat the whole thing. I brought the brownie home. It was yummy. For ice cream, it was not cheap, but the experience was cool. And they had a little game room in there too, so it was very cool. It was an experience that I'm glad we went to. I hope to be able to take my grandkids there when we come back with them next time. So that's where we've been so far. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it turns out okay. Do try Crazy Mason milkshakes if you come. It's worth the price. And the ice cream was spectacular. It's homemade ice cream. And I love ice cream, so I'm an ice cream connoisseur, if you will. So enjoy the video. And let me know what you think about I could do better on the food reviews, I'm sure. I'll work on that. So anyway, that's what we got, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. See you later. Bye-bye. L.W. Paul Living History Farm. Set up to be like in the 1900 to 1950 in the way the farm actually ran. They had kids' activities in that pavilion. They have some couple of mules and some other natural farm animals, chickens, turkeys, hogs. Those are the individual like stores. That's the tobacco drying building. Then we're coming up to, this is going to be the house that replica of the house that they lived in. In the summertime, they would even sleep on the front porch to be cooler. But it was like a 2-room house. Most of the living area separate from the very small bedroom. But then there was a separate kitchen as well. But how do you like that crib? They really caged the child in there. But the parents and the baby slept in there, and the other kids slept on the floor anywhere they could. They had a couple of old sewing machines in there. Mostly everything was donated or original to the gentleman that owned and donated this land for this living farm as a museum. So these are more inside of the house. The cellar where they would, well, I guess pantry, keep all of their canned goods. In the kitchen. So the corn cob was for scrubbing the floor. The brooms were for sweeping the floor, but that corn cob, messy looking thing there, they would use to scrub the floor with. And the water was outside, and the firewood. Then we went to, that's the smokehouse, and the little, there it comes up next in the picture. That's where they kept their root vegetables, I think. Then they had I think these are the barn. We weren't really allowed in. You were only allowed to take pictures. Oh, no, this is inside the smokehouse. They do actually have, like they will do and show you how they smoke things. Like every few weeks they have something else that they physically show how they're doing it. Tomorrow, which is probably when you'll see this video, but on Saturday they do tanning as well. And here comes the cow. But they also on tomorrow they're taking the sugar cane and turning it into syrup. Here comes the outhouse. This is actually how they went potty, as you recall. But this is a cement floor one, so it was updated. And they had chickens and turkeys in here. And they do sell the farm fresh eggs, $4 a dozen, but they didn't have any when we were there. They were gone already. So tomorrow we're going to watch them turn the cane into sugar. They had a couple of pigs. And this is this is raising cane. So they grow the sugar cane, and it's in these stalks that look like that. That was for the animals. But they grind it in that machine, and then they process it in different ways, and cooks in here for a long time. Holds 60 gallons, that machine did, or that cooking thing did. We'll get more on that tomorrow when we actually see him make the cane. And this is the grist mill for grinding the corn. These are things that they would have grown on the farm. They had a woodworking shop that wasn't active when we were there. Depends on what volunteers they have at the time. And they had a blacksmith. Oh, that's the woodworking, more of the woodworking shop. And they had a blacksmith. They had actually 2 on staff when we were there the other day. And they were demonstrating and making things that they sell in their gift shop. They would cut down trees, and this is how they would mill them into planking. And they had all the stuff works, and they actually demonstrated at different times. They'd roll the logs up on that thing and run them through these machines and end up with a plank of wood like you see at the bottom. This is the cut down sugar cane. They take the leaves off and mound them like that for the winter to protect the bottoms, the roots, if you will, and then they burn that in the summer or in the spring and start over. And that's how they get it to the mill. I think this is the beginning of tobacco plants because it was outside the tobacco drying area. But they had buds on them, so I'm not really sure what that was. But we were thinking it was tobacco because the tobacco plant factory thing drying is right there next to those plants. And they had a church. The church looks like it's a new build. And that was, I think, pretty much the end of the farm. Then we went to Conway. Velociraptor and a Triceratops. The eyes are moving too. Well, he was blinking a minute ago. Don't get me, don't get me. I don't know what this one is. He doesn't have a tag with his name on it. It's a long neck. It's a tall one. Goes moving his head. Dinosaur eggs were the size of footballs? Dang. Not calling him a T-Rex. Coniotaurus. says 9 feet high, but 26 to 30 inches feet long. Wasn't real tall, but he was long. This dude was 11 foot tall.
Huh?
This guy was 11 foot tall. We've got a size issue going on here. He looks like a T-Rex too. They're not calling him a T-Rex either. Calling him a Mafiosaurus. Smaller than that last guy that looked like a T-Rex. This guy, I guess, doesn't move. So here's the T-Rex.